Black consciousness will destroy Islam. A lot of Muslims seem to believe that Islam is the savior of the black race, therefore black consciousness is simply the empty pursuit of stubborn misguided people who will eventually submit to Allah. Well, the Heru Interface has news for them: we will never submit to Islam or any religion because we know what true black consciousness is. Black consciousness starts in the mind with a deep understanding of human nature. Once that common denominator is in place, everything else is elementary, including religious belief, race relations and other mechanisms that drive the daily pursuits of humankind. Heru Interface is the only black conscious movement that understands why Islam was so effective in the struggle for black liberation from European colonialism and against racism and discrimination. We do not discount Islam's usefulness, but we will never return or submit to false beliefs that encourage self-hate. While other races are busy conquering, colonizing, and indoctrinating people, religious black people are busy submitting and helping them to mentally enslave our race. It is evident to us that only smart people are able to create their own motivations in life. Black consciousness is a process that cannot be stopped because as long as the true creator of the universe is acting on our conscience, we will forever be discontent with the condition of our race. You say the black consciousness movement is tainted by default because a lot of the Afrocentric scholars we draw inspiration from were Muslims. They may have been Muslims, but that has to do with circumstance and the common denominator in human nature. Circumstance has to do with kinship. No one was born with religion programmed into their brain. All knowledge is acquired, therefore we are all indoctrinated by our parents and elders into the religions we follow. The common denominator is a bit harder for most people to grasp. Human nature only has two conditions, desire and conscience. Desire is our default condition, which is why most philosophers, including religious ones, assume that humans are inherently evil. No, we are not. We are driven by desire, which is an easily corruptible force. The second condition of human nature is conscience, and while desire is a property of life, conscience is a property of the Great Spirit. Conscience acts to rein in and balance desire so that humans don't destroy life. What does all this have to do with Muslim scholars, you might ask? We recognize that religion is humanity's greatest attempt at maintaining a conscientious existence. We also recognize that all religions are defective because due to desire, religious believers will always over-exaggerate what their gods desire of them. Then they will either shut off the world, or will hate and kill others who don't believe as they do. It is all a selfish attempt to please or gain the favor of your imaginary gods. The benefit of religion is that it acts on human nature to develop self-discipline through personal sacrifice. The most self-disciplined religions are in Asia, while the worst major religion is Christianity, which has become desire and consumer-driven. Islam falls in between because it still requires strict self-discipline through fasting and frequent prayer. Unfortunately, a lot of Muslims want to destroy life in order to get to their God quicker. All this religious self-sacrifice stuff is supremely beneficial to all aspects of an individual's mental development. That is why black Muslims tend to achieve more out of society than the average cultureless fool. These Afrocentric scholars that you brag about being the idols of black consciousness are no doubt former Muslims now, correct? There is also a reason for that. It's because while they were digging through all our buried African history, they all became disheartened and lost faith in Islam. You see the danger of knowledge, don't you? That's why Muslims are now busy trying to burn and destroy all the libraries in Africa. Ideology hates truth, which is why the truth of black consciousness will destroy Islam.